Howdy neighbors, I'm Mac McCarty. I'm here with another episode of the Rough and Tumble today. I've certainly enjoyed bringing these stories to you. I hope y'all have enjoyed them. I hope you're sharing them with others. That would help, and liking and subscribing. But I'm doing this as a tribute to the many I've lost and to those still out there. Again, as I said in the first episode, oil and gas affects us all. And we have a lot of conveniences that are a result of the oil and gas industry. You know, lots of things that we enjoy that are brought to us by the oil and gas industry. So I hope, you can get a little bit of the feel of the way it is out there. This story today goes back into the 70s, and I was working for a company as just a lineman. Always, except for this one time, I was always an electrician primarily, and I'm a Class A master electrician, and been doing it, over 50 years. But this particular time, I was needing a job, and this outfit needed a lineman, and so I took this job. I had a baby at home, my daughter at home, and it was always of primary importance to me that I provided good for my family. I worked hard to do just that, and it certainly wasn't always easy. It just wasn't. But a lot of you understand that as you sacrifice each and every day, and it's just important to take care of your loved ones. But this particular day, and for this outfit, they had sent us out on the Amoco Ike Denson Lease at Spring Hill, maybe slightly north of it, but probably still in proper city limits of Spring Hill. And anyway, the lease was down. And it was raining that day. The weather wasn't that great. And the lease had a mobile home park in part of the lease there. And this line had burned down on a pole where they rolled that 480 up on a set of cross arms here. And there was a kearney or a split bolt up there, and it had burned the line in two. And our job was to put that wire back up and get that black gold pumping. So we rolled up to the transformer platform bank, pulled the 12,000 three-phase off, pulled the cutouts, killed the line, and out of a crew of, I think there was, like 6 of us maybe, 5 of them were helpers. One was an electrician, but he didn't do any climbing, and that left me the only lineman on the crew. And so I got the gear all out, and it was, like I said, raining steadily raining. And, we noticed there was no lightning going on. You couldn't see any of that, and it seemed like it was safe enough to go ahead and get up here and put this wire up. And you have to keep in mind, at that time, most of these oil field contractors, they had no bucket trucks at all. So everything had to be done climbing poles. That's just the way it was. And so I got my gear on, my old handy Bashland 88 full floating belt and my hooks, and I climbed up that pole. And I was getting rigged up, coffin horse sent up by the grunts on the ground, and got it all set up, and I was cranking on that thing. And it's a hoist, and you're pulling on that thing. And I was about 2 clicks away from having it pulled up good enough where I could put a cigar on it, we called them. It was an automatic splice where that line would go in each side of that splice, and it would hold that line together. And then I could reconnect that wire that was going over to the oil well for the 480 motor. Well, everything was going really good until I saw that bolt of lightning over in the distance. Now, I'm going to tell you, it looked like it was a long way off, as best I remember. And I remember thoughts going through my mind. Now, I don't know if it was after or right then. Your mind can play some tricks on you when you're in a situation like that. But I saw it, and it came to my mind about what some guys had told me, how you could hear that lightning coming down the line just like a freight train, you know, and wham, it hit you. Well, I saw that bolt of lightning, and it just knocked me just woozy-headed. I just thought, oh, man, you know, that hit me so hard, and well, it didn't feel good. I was hurting, and but I just was woozy-headed, you know. It rattled me, and I thought, well, I'm fine. And I looked down, them guys are hollering, come down off that pole, because of the lightning and everything. And I'm thinking to myself, well, boys, I'm not stupid. I'm coming down. I'm not staying up here right now. I was lucky I was safetied off above a control wire that was below the cross arm, and that's why I didn't go to the ground. But the other part of the story is I wasn't just knocked woozy. I was knocked out, and I was up there for a pretty long time. These guys told me it was a pretty long time. How long? I honestly, I didn't have any gap in my thinking, because I didn't know I was out. You don't know. You're just out. And when I came down there telling me I was out a long time, I said, no, it just kind of knocked me woozy for a moment, you know, rattled me a little. I said, I wasn't. They said, no, you were out a long time. And so I have to take their word for it. I can't remember. Anyway, we got down on the ground, and they said, well, we got to take you to the hospital. And I said, no, I'm fine. Well, everybody insisted, and I ended up at the hospital in Longview, Texas. And this doctor checked me out, and he said, well, I believe you're all right. He said, I'm going to send you out of here. I think you need to go home. And you know, I had chest pains for a couple of years after that, maybe longer. It was a long time. And boy, I just ache in my heart area of my chest. I got a pretty good jolt that day. I thank the Lord that He was obviously with me, because I was able to survive it. And maybe those pains were a reminder, you know, I don't know. But it was interesting that I learned that day, you can't hear that lightning coming. Boy, it's instant. When you see it, it's instant. It's so fast. But that happened in the 70s, some point in the 70s. I believe already, yes, I was married. I was already married to my fine wife that's up on the wall back here behind me in that picture with that ugly son of a gun up there. Anyway, been a long time, and I really believe I'm living on bonus times. You heard another story earlier, and there's plenty of them. It's a dangerous place. You know something, I wouldn't trade it for the world. I thoroughly enjoyed my years out there. I really did. I want to thank y'all for listening to this story again, and I've got more. Hope to share with you. Some of you folks need to share some of your stories with me. I'd like to share it with others. If it's something you can share. Anyway, until the next time, this is Mac McCarty saying, oh, please like and subscribe. And this is Mac McCarty saying so long for the Rough and Tumbled channel.